Arne Slot has done the thing. Liverpool have beaten Real Madrid 2-0 in the Champions League. There's one thing that he did that changed this entire game, and I'm going to talk about it just after I talk about some of the key stats, things that they've done over the past few weeks. They've won the last 7 games, including today. Before that, they drew. There was the draw against Arsenal. Then they won 8 games before that. Then there was the loss to Nottingham Forest, and then they had just won 3. The first 3 games of the season. So they won 3, lost 1, won 8, drawn 1, and then have now won 7, unbeaten in 16 games. They have won 16 of their first 18 games of the season. Arne Slot is doing a thing. They're just impressive. They just keep rolling. And not having Trent, you'd think that, yeah, it's a big loss. But one thing you need to give Klopp credit for. Last year, he really played Bradley a lot. He gave Bradley a lot of chances to play. Such that now when you're going to come into this game and Trent is injured, Bradley just comes in and slots in and shows you that he's amazing. Like, he's actually really good. The boy is amazing. That tackle he had on Mbappe in the first few moments of the game was a tone setter, like just to give him confidence. I think Nunez was also one of the standout players for Liverpool on the field. He just ran. He ran. There was the clearance off the line from Asensio, but it all came from Nunez working hard, getting the ball, running past like 5 people, 3 in midfield, and then crossing the ball, coming off Asensio, and then he clears off the line. But with all of that being said, there's just one thing that Slot did, and that was just after halftime. As we all know, the game went into halftime 0-0, and we were doing a live and I was praying. I was like, guys, we just need a goal in the first 5 minutes of the game. Lucky for us, we got it after 6 minutes and I think 30 seconds. And it was one change that he made. Now we're going to dive straight into our HMD tactical board. And I want to show you guys basically what Real Madrid was doing, how they were defending. They were defending with in a 4-4-2 formation, right? So there was Diaz somewhere here, Camavinga and Modric were in the middle, and then Goulet was on the right, and then Bellingham and Mbappe were doing all the running up front. So let me just push them forward so that you can see how the spaces were being exploited. So the fact that Salah was always brought wide to maintain the width, and then Bradley. So in the first half, let me just show you what Liverpool would do in the first half. What they would do in the first half is that they would try and maintain the width with Diaz and Salah, or Robertson and Salah. So Robertson would be pushing up somewhere there, and then you have Van Dijk and Konate coming somewhere there, and then Gravenberch just hanging around, and then Jones is given the free role to roam around with McAllister, something like that, right? Then, so what would happen is that you find that you're playing a very rigid structure of 4-4, and the only way to beat this is you need numbers in the middle. You need numbers in there to disrupt everything. Normally, if I was a coach, what I would have done is I'd tell McAllister to push up a bit more, or Curtis Jones. I would love McAllister to stay here because McAllister actually gives us a lot more in terms of trying to build up the play. But Slot said, no, I'm not bringing any of those guys. I'm going to bring Bradley. The first 5 minutes of the game, of the second half, Bradley was literally playing next to Nunez. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? Bradley was playing next to Nunez the first few minutes of that second half. And if you see how he was playing, he kept on just waiting for knockdowns, or would make late runs into the box. But basically all he was doing is just making sure that Real Madrid know there's an extra body in midfield. At the back, and he had a good chance. There was a save by Courtois within the first 4 minutes of the second half, and then now in the build up to the goal, what happened is that Goulet found himself trying to defend on that side. Bellingham and Mbappe, I don't know what they were all doing on that side. Modric was there, Camavinga was also pulled towards one side, and then Diaz was the one who was up front. Jones gets the ball somewhere here. Robertson has pushed up completely. Diaz is just outside the box, just trying to confuse these people. This is where you realize Valverde is also not a fullback, so he's really just being pushed around. So the ball comes to Jones. Jones plays it to McAllister, and then once he plays it to McAllister, this time Bradley drops over here. So he started off high and then he drops. Then Jones, after making the pass, runs in, and Nunez also comes over here. So when McAllister plays the ball to Bradley, gets the 1-2, he finds himself in this position. If you look at the back line, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, literally 5, 6 people in a straight line, right? That's Robertson, Diaz, Jones, Nunez, McAllister, and Salah. And Bradley has just played the 1-2. McAllister does so well to slot it under Courtois, or rather the side of Courtois, to make it 1-0. But this one change of bringing Bradley here and bringing him next to Nunez caused so many problems for Real, and they just couldn't handle it. And it was, all of a sudden, Salah now has space. All of a sudden, Nunez now is running into space. And I'm like, it's so brave. It's so brave for Schlott to do that, especially on the same wing where Mbappe is, telling the fullback, yo, you go forward, bomb forward, and give us this advantage. And that's how the goal came, and that's how the game opened up. Obviously, the penalty misses were just incredible. Incredible penalty misses from the two best players on the field, right? Or the two of the most high-profile players on the field. I'm saying that because Mbappe this season is not playing like the best player. He has levels to go to. Like this, a lot is just happening. Getting to a new team, trying to figure things out and stuff like that. But I'm not going to disrespect him. He's still a great player. So two of the most high-profile players to miss those types of penalties was just, guys, we need to work on our penalties. Mbappe's was saved. Okay, the penalty wasn't great, but it was saved. Salah's was just, the technique was just mind-boggling. I don't understand how, like, what he was trying to go for, because at the end of the day, it's a risky technique, and exactly the reason why you don't do it is what happened. Because if you just hit the ball badly, it goes wide. Because you almost kick the ground, and so that's why the technique is like, okay, was the technique right? And it's just a penalty. It's not like you're hitting the ball on the volley, you know. Just side foot it, just take the keeper the wrong way, you know. So yeah, the misses were incredible. And then obviously Robertson redeemed himself because he's the one who conceded the penalty in the late in the second half. The short corner, then it was played back to him, cross straight to Cody Gakpo, who came off the bench and scored to make it 2-0, which was crucial because that killed the game. Real just tried everything, but they couldn't. They just looked like they lacked options. They just don't have a plan. They don't have a plan at all. The pressure mounts on Carlo Ancelotti. Let's see what he does. But this is an impressive win. This could be the best week of many Liverpool fans in a long time. Because after this, they play Man City, which they're going to win. So they're going to have one of the best weeks they've ever had. Unless Pep has something to say about that. But we did predictions for that game. You guys can check it out on our page. And yeah, Schlott, that one move just changed the entire game. Bradley, you're a baller. Sad to see him go out with an injury, but dude, you're a baller. You are actually a baller. And I'm a fan.